Now we will have the demonstration of down counter. The purpose of a down counter is related to the application like
You have already loaded 50 bags on the conveyor belt. You want to know when you have emptied the conveyor. This is where you will start with 50 and go on counting like 49, 48, 47, etc. At that time, you want to know when to stop the conveyor.
if this is the application, you will be using a down counter. This is the perfect application of down counter. You go to PLC simulator and configure now the down counter, like by adding the new rung, add the initialization pulse.
This pulse is equivalent to a photodetector which will detect pulse after every bag is passed on the conveyor belt.
Which is already loaded, and then put here the down counter, configure this down counter as the label is CTD, and suppose I want to count 2 bags, and this would be the tag for bag. I call that as a pulse because I am getting a pulse. Now if I compile this, you will find that now
Now as compared to up counter where the accumulator was 0, now here you will find that whatever you have loaded is the present value which will be transferred to the accumulator, and then accumulator it will go on decrementing.
and that's the reason it is called as down counter. Look at one more thing, your done bit is already on and count done bit is not on because you have not initialized it. So let me do that exercise and toggle this. The moment I toggle this, now this 2 has become 1, means it has decremented by 1. CTD has become 1, and if that bogey or that object has gone, as you transfer a bag, so the pulse is now disappeared. CTD underscore CD will become 0. Done bit will remain 1. Accumulator will remain 1. That means one bag has passed on the conveyor belt. Now if you do it for second, now that has become 0. But the important thing is now this done bit is switched off, indicating that preset is equal to accumulator. In other words, in down counter, accumulator has become 0. This is the purpose of using a down counter. Now if I go on doing this like the previous one, the bags will pass, so this will become -1, -2, and so on and so forth. That means once the done bit is there and once the accumulator has become 0, afterwards the counter, unless and until I reset, is of no use for me. And that's the reason, like in the previous case of up counter, you will have to add here a reset pulse.
Assignment: add a reset pulse to a down counter and reset the counter with the condition that you will press the button, push button, and the counter will be reset. You can try it using a compiler of our PLC ladder program.